Mademoiselle, and ça c'est deuxième Chanel moi. And jodia, nous allons parler de faux, I don't know that word in Creole. We're gonna be talking about fake psychics, fake readers, because y'all, I'm getting so sick and tired of it, okay? Chaque jour, mal to Instagram, mal to Facebook, mal to TikTok, mal to Twitter. And there is another fake reader there trying to give me a reading. And you guys are probably like, Yvana, how you know they fake? Yvana, how you know they not legitimate, you know, trying to help you out, trying to tell you about your life or whatever. I know they're fake because most of the time their profile has absolutely no history. It just got there. It's a fake photo. They have no followers. And I'm not saying that you have to have followers, you have to have a huge following to be a reader. But if you're a legitimate reader, wouldn't you want to establish a connection with the people that you're doing readings for? No, like, am I just a little bit off base? I'm just saying, like, no, I'm not gonna get a reading from anyone, especially on the internet, who I can't even connect the face to. I'm just saying that's just my personal preference, okay? However, I will say that I've gotten readings from a few people, but I'm very, very selective on who I let read me. If any of you guys have met me in person, or if any of you guys watching this know me personally, you would know I'm pretty hard to read, specifically because I build a wall up. I'm very, very spiritually guarded because I don't play that shit at all. My ancestors sit around me at all times, okay? Like, I have like an army around me all the time. And most readers and psychics are actually pretty intimidated by me. Like, literally, I just came back from NOLA, and y'all already know, if you haven't been to NOLA, like, they are consistently badgering you for a reading. They're like, hey, do you want a reading? Hey, do you want a reading? Hey, tarot this, psychic this, da 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 da. Not one person gave me a reading, with the exception of one lady. She was the only one that approached me. Like, literally, I am extremely hard to read. I literally have to let you read me, because other than that, you're going to be intimidated by my spirit. I've been told that for a very, very long time. And it was funny because when the lady approached me, I was like, oh wow, you're bold, because you're the first person that actually came up to me and offered to read me. She was like, oh yeah, it's because of your spirit. You have people around you. I said, oh yeah, I'm not sure how many, but I could tell. Like, cause yeah, you know, if y'all already know, on this channel, I've talked about it before. I see things that a lot of people can't, feel things that a lot of people can't. So when it comes to readers and psychics and all of that, for the most part, I know when somebody's bullshitting. I know when somebody's lying. And in this case, when it comes to the people on the internet and the scams and stuff, I think it's pretty much common sense at this point when these people are lying and just trying to make a quick buck. When it comes to fake readers and all of that, I swear to God, y'all, I really didn't think that was a thing that people would play with. Like, I thought that people respected spirituality. I thought that people wouldn't play with such a thing because, you know, they would be afraid of the powers that may. You know, I thought like, okay, like, people actually would not go around lying, saying like, hey, I could give you a tarot reading. Hey, I'm psychic. I could tell you about your future. Hey, I'm a medium and I could tell you what happened to your dead grandson. Like, I didn't think people would do that. But y'all, the amount of crazy shit that I've seen lately is wild to me. Like, the fact that people are out here literally trying to make a quick dollar off of people's grief, pain, mystery, discomfort, etc. is horrible. So before we even get into the rest of this video, comment down below. Have you ever had a bad reading from someone, or a reading that just made you feel extremely uncomfortable, or a reading that just essentially didn't make you feel good? Because one common misconception that a lot of people have about readings and mediums and tarot and things like that is that if you go to a reader, if you go to any of these spiritual situations, that it's going to ruin your life. It's going to basically make everything that they said happen. It's a negative thing. It's devil connected. But a lot of you guys don't know what the hell you're talking about. It has nothing to do with that. These people are here to bring good into your life. They're here to bring you comfort. They're here to actually make sure you have some sense of clarity in your life. Therefore, it irks my nerves when these people are just trying to get a quick dollar, just trying to get some quick followers, just trying to throw some shit around to make some shit shake. And they go and they give these people these readings and they're basically fear mongering them, or they're being rude, they're being disrespectful, they're being rude, they're being disrespectful, or even worse, they're not even giving readings, they just taking your shmoney. All right, so please comment your stories down below because I'd love to hear them. I get approached all the time for readings on the internet, and literally I just ignore them. But every now and again, I will sit there and engage a message or two just for the fuck of it, just to see, you know, what type of new scams are out there on the market. Now, if you guys did not watch my video about witches and fake witches, feel free to go watch it. A lot of the witches was mad as hell, but it is what it is. And it's just like the whole situation with the witches of, you know, people just trying to do shit to be cool. The whole idea of spirituality just became very, very popular on the internet. And I feel like people are just using the whole spirituality realm as a come up. I feel like people are just talking about spirituality to be cool, to be edgy, just because it's like a niche that a lot of people haven't tapped into. So now they're trying to make it seem like they know way more than they do. So let's just get into the ways to know if someone is a fake medium, psychic, tarot reader, and anything else in that spiritual realm, okay? So I already mentioned that clearly their profile is going to look sketch. I also mentioned that obviously they may try to run off with your money. Also mentioned that most of the time they're going to solicit you. Now, I'm not saying that legitimate readers don't go and offer their services, but I will say most of the time, unless you're on the street, most of the time legitimate readers are not going to go and solicit you on the internet anyway. Okay, we're predominantly talking about internet readers and all of that. They're not going to be like, hey girl, I felt your energy and I really thought that you could use a reading. Hey girl, your ancestors were calling to me and they said you should receive this message, and then all of a sudden try to charge you $50 for a reading. That's not usually how it goes. Like, from what I know from all the readers and the witches and stuff that I know personally in my life, it don't go like that. That's why that shit just be irking my nerves, and it just be so confusing when people try to tell me like, yeah, it's legit, it's true, it's like, no it ain't. Like, no it ain't. It always boils down, when you get to conversations with these people, it always boils down to, oh, send me $50, send me Bitcoin, send me this. Like, y'all, the conversations be outrageous. I am telling you, okay? You guys could even look up some story times on YouTube of people having experiences of being scammed by readers and things like that. It's just absolutely insane, okay? My next one has to be their tone of voice, okay? Now, I will say some of them actually go all the way. They'll do a full-blown reading, okay? They have a full-blown fake reading tarot medium persona, okay? Let me not even get into the fake mediums on TV. I know you guys have already heard about the Long Island medium and how a lot of people have called her out for being fake. And there are other psychics as well that a lot of people have called out for being fake. However, we're not even gonna get into that. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. However, when it comes to people that really do this shit for real, that really be out here scamming and have like the whole spiel of I'm psychic and I do this, i.e. the people on TikTok. Yeah, I'm calling y'all out, okay? The TikTok motherfuckers that every single time something happens like a crime and they try to be like, I still feel his presence. He's still with us. He's still here. I think the police should be looking in the mountains because I feel like his soul is calling out from the mountains. Shut the fuck up and put a sock in it, Samantha, okay? Like, y'all literally be reaching, and 99.9% of the time, y'all are talking out of your asses. And this was so rampant around the time of that YouTuber who literally got murdered by her boyfriend, Gabby Petito case. Now, if you guys are not aware about the Gabby Petito case, Gabby Petito was a YouTuber, and particularly a van YouTuber who happened to be allegedly, because technically if we were real, we may not really know, but allegedly murdered by her boyfriend after or during a trip that they went on a van, because they were like van life YouTubers across the country. And people were on TikTok, y'all. And this is the thing, whether they were psychics or not psychic, the point is you don't capitalize off people's death. Like, I don't know when people were like, understand that. Opa fessa, bro. Like, you don't do it. You just don't do it. You don't use people's deaths for content. But anyways, people were literally, okay, these little fake psychics and mediums and shit like that. Oh, you know, I feel Gabby is still with us. You know, Gabby is still holding on to life. I think they should search the bushes. I think you should shut the fuck up. She was literally 6 feet under when they were sitting here doing and saying all of this goofy shit. She was gone. And I want to know if people really called these people out for that. Probably not, because people be scared of these people. They be thinking, oh, well, I don't want to call out these psychics and these mediums or whatever because, you know, they might turn me into a goat. They can't do a damn thing to you because they're full of shit. If anything, they just got a whole bunch of attitude and a whole bunch of mouth. And that brings me to my next point. The way you could really tell tell a psychic, a medium, a reader, or whatever the case may be is fake as hell is their attitude, their tone of voice, the way they interact with customers and anything of the sort. Because a true, genuine reader with a spiritual core who genuinely wants to help people doesn't have a nasty attitude, doesn't try to profit off of people's pain, and most importantly, is not going to sit there and try to like make you feel bad and make you feel like they could turn you into a fish for disagreeing or calling them out on their bullshit, okay? And they wouldn't even have done something like that in the first place. So I'm gonna need y'all to be very, very cautious in what y'all believe and what y'all think to be true, because that is when I was really sitting there like, oh my God, it's the fake readers for me, it's the fake mediums for me, it's the fake predictions, bro. Like, oh my God. And it's the fact that like they really don't get called out for this because people are scared, okay? And like they're either scared to get called out or they're afraid to get turned into a horse. Horses live beautiful lives. I don't see the problem. But hey, what do I know? Of course, they're selfish, okay? They have a grandiose type of personality. Everything is about them, including their readings or sessions with you. Now, realistically, no matter how you spin it, the whole spirituality service-based industry is supposed to be about the client at the end of the day. No matter if this person is an Ogun, a Mumbo, a witch, a shaman, whatever the case may be, the person is serving you. It should never be about them, how powerful they are, how many people they cured, whatever the case may be. But for whatever reason, I think a lot of these people forgot that because they're not real. They're fake. Okay, a lot of these people like to big up themselves. Okay, a lot of these people tend to sit there all the time and be like, oh, I got a lot of this, I got a lot of that, I've done this, I've done that. One time I gave a reading and it changed this woman's life, and this man, you know, he sat here and he became a whole different person after I gave him a reading. It's like, it's just brag on brag on brag, and it's like, it's not about you, it's about the people and the lives that you're changing. It's a huge red flag if you are getting a reading by someone or you are following someone that claims to be of a spiritual relevance, okay, who claims to do readings, who claims to help and heal people, and they're constantly talking about themselves and what they've done for people. Let the clients do the talking. Y'all, this is a big one, the theatrics. Y'all, this is big in every single spiritual realm, and it's the way that I've been able to call out lots of different people. And I'm not even gonna lie, I'm surprised I'm not walking around with half a face right now, because I've called out a lot of spiritual whatever the hell's to their face for this. By theatrics, I'm talking about witches that walk around with fucking cauldrons and broomsticks. I'm talking about people who allegedly do voodoo and have their house looking like a goddamn cage. I'm talking about readers that for whatever reason have 10 different decks. Like, why the fuck do you need 10 decks? Like, I'm just saying, like, and I'm not saying like if you do these things you're fake, but I'm saying like some people go a little bit too overboard. Like, your living room don't need to look like it's out of 1940s and like literally you're like Sabrina the Teenage Witch and you got an herb garden growing in your kitchen and you mixing up concoctions trying to poison the next person that pisses you off. Like, it's just straight, like, some people be so damn into this shit that it's like, do you have a life outside of this, bro? Like, from the outfit to the language to the lifestyle to the people they date to the kids to the pets, it's just theatrics, it's just theater. It's like, I can't take you serious. I can't. There's no way you're a witch. There's no way you're a warlock. There's no way you do voodoo. There's no way that you're a tarot reader. Do you even know what any of these cards mean? Bro, do you know the difference between an angel deck, a devil deck, a tarot deck, an oracle deck? Do you know that somebody, like, what do you know what any of, like, what's going on here? At this point, I'd rather let Sage give me a reading. What the fuck? Like, I don't know, bro. Like, it's the theatrics. And unless the person's already like 80 years old, that's a little bit different, because like, yeah, I mean, clearly you've probably collected a couple of decks, right? But there's no reason that you're 21 with like 10 different sets of decks. In my case, I have 3 tarot decks and I've only touched 1, but that's because you guys love to send them to me, thanks. I have an angel deck, I have a devil deck, and then I have 3 tarot card sets, I think. Yep. 1, 2, yeah. But again, that's gifted. So shit, I'll probably have 10 by the time I'm 30 at this point, but they're literally not even touched. I literally only opened 1. Special case. But do I have a house that's out here looking like the voodoo den? No. I literally just started my altar. I don't even serve, but I just started a little altar, okay? But even if I did, I don't think my whole life would be devoted like that. Like, I feel like some people, you could tell, it's like, it's the overboardness of it all. I really should have started with this one. Asking instead of knowing. Now, the thing is, a lot of people don't know the difference between going to a psychic and going to a reader and going to a numerologist and going, like, all of those are actually different. Like, just because someone's doing a reading for you, like a tarot reading, doesn't mean they're psychic, okay? And just because someone says they're psychic doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna be able to do a palm reading. And just because someone is able to do a palm reading doesn't mean they're going to be able to do numerology. And just because someone, like, not everything is the same, not everyone could do the same things, okay? That's the basic thing where I was trying to lead with that, right? With that being said, right, when it comes to psychics in particular, they supposed to know, especially basic shit. If I sit down with a damn psychic and they're asking me specific things that they should already know, that's a huge red flag. Where are you from? Bitch, you should know that. How old are you? Bitch, you should know that. Where's your family from? Bitch, you should know that. How are you feeling? I think you should pick up on the vibe. I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe some people could comment down below and tell me if I'm off base, but like a lot of them be sitting there like trying to like peep and wave through certain things to make it easier and give you very vague advice and do vague readings and sessions. Like they'll sit there and be like, oh, well, do you have a grandparent that's passed? Most of us have a grandparent that's passed. Okay, all jokes aside, okay? The other ones were just jokes, guys. But like seriously, they'll be like, do you have a grandparent that's passed? Most of us have a grandparent that's passed. Well, he's with you right now. Really? Yes. He tells you to relax and everything will be okay. Example, when I went to NOLA, the reader that I had, she actually had a husband that does readings too, but he's a little bit more intense, okay? He actually stopped doing readings because he was so goddamn intense. And that's gonna bring me to my next point regarding intense readings, which I kind of touched on a little bit earlier, but I'm gonna touch on it again. But see, he's legit and he actually sees things because, like I said, my ancestors walk with me. And I know they do because I feel their presence consistently and I can see and I can feel things, right? So essentially, mind y'all, I was sitting with the lady for a grip. She was like, oh, here comes my husband. I was like, hey, kid y'all not, I do not talk about any of my grandparents. I never met neither of my grandfathers at all. I only met two of my grandmothers when I was 6 years old, and then they died shortly after. Well, my mom's mom died when I was about 18. My dad's mom died when I was like 6, 7 years old, like shortly after I left Haiti, right? So literally the dude, he walks up to me, he's like, hey, how are you? Da 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 da. And you know, we just start talking, whatever. He's like, damn, you're so much like your grandfather on your mom's side. Just like that. I didn't tell him nothing about the reading. The wife stayed where she was at. She didn't tell him nothing about the reading. She didn't get on her phone. She didn't call the dude. She ain't nothing. Just looks at me. Damn, you're just like your grandfather on your mom's side. Just looks at me and says that. Doesn't know he's dead. Doesn't know I even have a mom. Shit, I could have been a freaking orphan for all I know. Could have been adopted. And it's funny because my mom is the only person that consistently tells me that I'm just like my grandfather. Literally, same mannerisms, same attitude, same temperament, same everything. So that shit had me shook. And I was like, what? He was like, oh, ha ha ha. Like, he started laughing like, oh, that had you scared, right? I was like, not scared, just a little shook because the fuck? She was like, and he was like, yeah, he's always, you know, with you and stuff. Like, he's like here right now. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, when I'm telling you, that shit had me like, okay, y'all the real deal. I'm gonna make sure I come back. Like, y'all is lit, you know, because it was just like, okay, like, look at y'all with your bad selves. Like, it was mad interesting. So that just goes to say, you can tell who's real and who's fake, because most of these fake ass readers, they gotta probe you for information. I'm not gonna say that most of the time they're 100 or 1,000% correct. They might have a little things a little off or a little wrong, whatever the case may be, but they'll be on point, okay? For the most part, they will be on point. And to go back to the point of some readings having bad energy, let's just tap into that. I will say that some people, not even most people I know who are readers, always talk about about like, you know, reading should never have bad energy. They should never tell you bad news. Like, say if you're gonna die tomorrow, they shouldn't tell you that, right? I've come across some readers that are like, nah, like I'm gonna give it to you straight. It is what it is. If you don't like how I do it, da 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 da. But I wouldn't consider them fake readers. I would just consider them having a different way of going about things. And I don't really think that's a problem. I really don't think that's a bad thing. I just feel like they just shouldn't be in the service industry. I really think that that's what it is. They just shouldn't be in the service industry. Like the man that I just mentioned, the one that read me, her husband, he used to read, but he used to scare the shit out of people. He'd be like, yeah, you know, if you don't stop eating the way you eat, you're gonna have to get your kidney removed. Like, he was that type of person. So people would be like scared as hell type shit. So to be honest, it really depends, but I don't think that makes somebody like a fake reader. But do with that what you will. Being direct and telling the truth is different from being rude and being disrespectful, having no manners, having no business etiquette. That's a whole nother story. Of course, we have the matter-of-fact readers, okay? The ones that think they know everything about you, even though when they're wrong, and you tell them they're wrong, or you tell them like, oh no, I'm actually single, but you're saying I'm in a relationship. No, you actually are in a relationship, or you think you're in a relationship. That's why my reading came out this way. That's why the card said this. The cards never lie. Like those type of people. Ciao. Fake ass readers, basically trying to justify themselves and tell themselves that they're legitimate, knowing damn well they're not legitimate. Hence why the reading is coming out wrong. Be very, very careful with those people, because those people, ego out the ass, bro. Like, I'm telling y'all, calling people out all day. I've had to call people out a lot. And then we have the people that just do the dangerous readings. Personally, I haven't come across this, but I do know a lot of people who have come across this. This really ties into different beliefs and stuff that I haven't necessarily tapped into, like the occult people, things like that. This is the thing. First of all, the occult isn't necessarily demonic in a way, which, I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's very hard. Like, I'm gonna have to do a whole video on the occult, but there's a lot of bad seeds and a lot of different practices that make things appear to be a certain way that they're not. And when it comes to dangerous readings, by dangerous readings, I'm talking about people that, one, lie, okay, which is the whole essence of this video, and two, give people news that they shouldn't have, or that they know that is gonna cause harm. Like, if you know the person's boyfriend is cheating and you go and you say, oh, your boyfriend's cheating on you, oh, your wife is stepping out with your best friend, like, that's dangerous shit. You don't know what the fuck the person's gonna do with that information, okay? So it's like, at that point, that's not really a fake reading or a fake reader. That's just somebody that clearly wants to start some shit. You gotta be really careful with things like that. Nonetheless, you gotta be very careful when it comes to going to a reader, choosing a reader. You have to be careful with all of the information about yourself. That's why I always tell you guys, please stop putting your moon, your rising, and all of that type of information in your bios. It doesn't really make any logical sense to me. Like, do you not understand people could use that information to manipulate you? It don't make sense. Like, stop putting that shit out there. Like, just don't. Do not willingly put that shit out there. Don't go on dates going out there like, yeah, I'm a Sagittarius moon and a Leo rising. Like, no, stop doing that shit. You're giving people grounds to manipulate you, okay? They're going to go read up on it and learn how to maneuver your shit, all right? Stop that shit. Kill that noise, all right? You guys are probably wondering, well, why do people lie about these things? Why do people use these things to manipulate people? First thing, money. It's very easy to act like, oh, I'm a medium. Oh, I have the power. Oh, I'm this, that, and the third, and I could do this, and I could turn you to a fly if you piss me off. It's very easy. Especially if you're doing readings, you can get so much money for that shit. Okay, like being a spellcaster, being a witch, being a cursor, and giving people love potions, and you can make a lot of money doing that shit. Especially if you're of a foreign persuasion. If you're from Africa, if you're from Haiti, if you're from Guatemala, if you're from Brazil, if you're from Peru, bro, people will buy into it just because you said you are, with no formal training. Okay, like, child, people love that shit. So to be quite honest with you, I'm not too shocked that people are out here going around saying specifically like, oh, this is what I do. I could give you a reading, love, abundance, and wealth, like, ciao. And of course, the next one is power. People love having the power over people's heads that they have the answers. Imagine, like, some people are going through a lot of things, especially right now that we're in a recession. So right now, people are looking for answers. You, as a reader, you have all the answers. You have answers that people are looking for. If you literally can just tell people like, hey, I could read you, all I gotta do is shuffle some cards. That's a lot of power. You have the power to make or break somebody's spirit, and that's extremely big. Like, a lot of people don't know how big that is, okay? And those are literally the main two reasons that people sit here and lie about being mediums and psychics and tarot readers and doing numerology and being able to read palms and shit. Like, a lot of these people can't do any of the shit that they're saying. And sadly, because of TikTok, because of Instagram and Twitter and all other social media apps, everybody thinks that they can do everything now. Not anyone can do everything, and certain things just need to be gatekeeped. Luckily, voodoo still being gatekeeped very well. Haitian, oh my god, good things, guys. Thank y'all. Because not everybody out here running around thinking they can do voodoo, because, you know, as we know, some people have lost their lives. Rest in peace to y'all trying to do goofy shit. But for the most part, there's too many things, especially like witchcraft, that have been desecrated. Okay, just horribly desecrated, and it's not okay, because the art of reading people, you know, the joy and the healing of reading people and bringing joy to people's faces, knowing where their future could be heading, is a sacred thing. You know, that used to be a sacred space, and now it's been overrun by a bunch of idiots. Like, literally a bunch of fucking idiots. So with that being said, comment down below, have you ever had a fake reader reach out to you? I feel like every single person watching this video has had a fake reader reach out to them. Okay, like, the scams are rampant, especially on Instagram. With that being said, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, do all that, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. Bye.